Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 7 and 8 of Tory's Tidbits. You're probably thinking, why was there not a 7? Why are these combined? Well, I caught the annual winter cold crud, whatever you want to call it, and I'm still getting over it. Unfortunately, I gave it to my husband, so he sounds much better today when I talk to him, but I feel bad that when I pass a cold on to somebody, but we were down for the count over the weekend, and that 70-degree weather we did not get to experience because we were sleeping all day trying to get over this. So, anyways, what happened last week? So I talked about turnaround. Turnaround is when we are on the floor all day long and we are working multiple bills. When I say multiple bills, we voted on 78 bills last week. And so, with that being said, all of those bills then, so we were off Monday and Tuesday. So those bills then go to the Senate. That gave time for staff to get everything put around, kind of shuffle bills where they need to go, get prepared, and then those bills went to the Senate. Senate did the same thing. They worked X amount of bills on the floor all day, and then those bills come to the House, and then they get reassigned to the appropriate committees and worked, and then we work them on the floor and so forth, and that is how a bill hopefully becomes a law. So that was last week. We have a short week this week. We only worked Wednesday and Thursday. We only worked 4 bills this week. But I wanted to kind of go over, and you guys can see in my vote record what the bills we worked weren't even very exciting. Honestly, not really. But I wanted to go over the 3 bills that I voted no on, and so you guys can understand why I voted no. House Bill 2523 had to deal with farm permits and allowing 15-year-olds to drive to and from to church. I had an amendment on the floor to lower it to 14 because if you have a farm permit at 14, I believe you should be able to drive to and from to church or religious organizations like youth group and so forth. And man, let me tell you, those urban folks, and I mean that, the urban folks went crazy, ballistic. Like we are the Wild West and can't believe we allow 14-year-olds to drive. Well, guess what? You can get your learner's permit at 14. You can get a farm permit at 14. You don't just get your farm permit and you can just drive willy-nilly wherever you want. No, you still have to have so many hours. The neat thing is if you are working and you need to drive to and from and you need someone to be with you to get those hours, the farmer can do that with you, so forth. So, and honestly, the kids that have farm permits are good kids. Not anybody can just go get a farm permit. You have to either live on so many acres or you have to work for a farmer and then they sign off for it. So it just amazed me how many people that it got way blown out of proportion. They were saying 14-year-olds are going to be driving on 435 or 14-year-olds are going to be driving from Liberal to going to church events in Wichita. You guys, we don't legislate parenting. That's up for the parents to decide what they're going to do, so forth. But I was just amazed on that. So I voted no. The amendment did not get on. I was 3 votes short to get the amendment on. And there was a big group of us from Western Kansas. We voted no because we felt like it was an anti-agriculture bill. And we're tired of seeing anti-ag bills coming forward up here in Topeka. So voted no on that. House Bill 2591, dealing with the KCC, and they want to not be subject to Open Meetings Act. I am not a fan of getting rid of transparency and having closed door meetings for anything. And so that's why I voted no on that one. And then 2637 was dealing with rural emergency hospitals, and an amendment got put on the floor. I disagreed with it, stating that there is a 35-mile radius. So if you have a hospital in between there, at that point, you cannot be a rural emergency hospital. A good example for that would be if La Crosse Hospital wanted to switch and no longer be a hospital but be a rural emergency hospital. They couldn't because they have Hayes within 35 miles, and they have Great Bend within 35 miles. And so I think that really harmed Western Kansas. The amendment was put on by a doctor who he worked for Coffeyville, and when Independence Hospital wanted to, they were looking at doing something and opening back up, and they felt like it would take their employees away and so forth. And it was a bad amendment. And so, anyways, we went ahead and that bill failed. And so just today on the floor, we just heard that the health committee put the bill back in, hopefully without that amendment, in a Senate bill. And so hopefully we will work that bill soon. So anyways, I just want to say, for access for rural hospitals, I don't want to get rid of access to rural hospitals. We need to do whatever we can. If we need to change how things are, it's not going to be a full hospital, it's just going to be a rural emergency hospital. Let's make sure that there's care for anybody. If you break your arm, you don't want to drive 35 miles to the nearest hospital if you have an opportunity to have a hospital in your hometown. So anyways, that's what I'm getting at. Everybody have a great weekend. It's going to be nice and warm, and I look forward to actually being outside when it's nice and warm. Of course, let me know if you guys are going to be coming up to Topeka, or if you guys have any questions, and looking forward to seeing you guys all soon. Have a good one.